Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are talking about saving lives. Saving lives is our first priority. According to WHO, AIDS is now the fourth leading cause of death globally. We, the government, believe that we can save millions of lives by stopping the spread of AIDS. Therefore, this house would make students have mandatory HIV tests. We define students as high school students, and we define this house as Thailand. Team, now I'm going to talk about my team split. I'm going to talk about how the mandatory test saves lives, and my DPM is going to talk about the economic benefits and early detection. Worldwide, the rate of deaths from AIDS is 3 million per year, up from 1.6 million, almost double from last year. Every half hour, 97 people will die of AIDS. Worldwide, the rate of an infection is 5.3 million per year, which was only 3.3 million from last year, and almost double too. And from 2000 to 2009, the number has significantly increased every year. Problem is, according to the Centers of Disease, 75% of the world infected people do not know they have AIDS because they choose not to take the test, which is the major reason why people have AIDS, and then reason why the spread never stops or reduced. So we say mandatory test saves lives because it stops the spread. Referring to the utilitarianism, the greatest good for the greatest number. So if the person has been informed that they have AIDS, he'll be aware and more careful because doing any activities that put other people at risk. Because from the studies of CDC, it says 90% of people who are infected change their behavior in a good way. That doesn't put the sex partner at risk. After they know they have AIDS, there is absolutely no way to know whether you're infected or not, unless you take a test, because someone who is infected with HIV can look and feel healthy, yet they can still pass the AIDS on to others. They may not be aware of the consequences. And by the time of the infection has shown the symptoms, the virus has already spread. Now I'm going to tell you about how this mandatory test works. From the results of mandatory HIV testing for pregnant women, according to the CDC, HIV testing pregnancy can significantly reduce the risk of mother-to-child HIV. Transmission from 25% to just 2%, that's a lot. Lots of people died of AIDS because it's too late to cure, and not knowing that you have it in the first place. And the result is you die. And by the time you die, you already spread the AIDS onto other persons. The major cause of getting AIDS infected is having sexual intercourse, putting in numerous numbers of people, of adolescents at risk. High school kids are sexually active, admitted. According to a Phongan Health Center, 96% of girls in high school have sex with their boyfriend. Sorry that I throw a lot of statistics on you, but I have a cousin named Sulasa. He's a real ladies' man, and he likes to sleep around. And one day, one of his nighters called him, and she claimed that she has HIV, and she calls her at that and he's the only one she has sex with. So he's like, oh my God, I slept with 20 women, and how do I know? I don't even remember the girls' faces and names. How do I know? So he took the test, and yes, it turns out that he already had AIDS and spread it on to another 20 women. So, anything else? Yeah. So now, I'm going to summarize my speech. AIDS is now the fourth leading cause of death globally. So whatever I've told you about AIDS, we are going to make the students take mandatory tests because they can spread. So to stop the spread. Yeah, in case you forgot, I'm going to summarize my speech again. We, the government, said saving lives is our first priority. And yeah. And by taking the voluntary test, we said that's not the way to go. Because many people choose not to take the test. So that's going to spread to other person. Yeah. And I want you to remember that AIDS is now the fourth leading cause of death. Yeah, and please have the protected sex. And because we can save millions of lives by taking the tests. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.